Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, David here, and welcome back to another video. I have some very exciting news for you guys. As you probably are already aware since we talked about it on the channel, Tokyo Game Show 2025, September, it's going down, and of course, Atlus and Sega are showing up at the event. And just like last year, they are teasing something very exciting. That is right, I'm sure I'm a little late to the news. I was very busy today, I'm sorry about that. A lot of people, I saw a lot of outlets and people talk about the news already, but there is indeed 4 mystery games that we don't know about that Sega and Atlus are going to talk about at Tokyo Game Show. It's part of their lineup. Right now, we have 8 titles set to be shown at TGS, which means that since we have 4 announced titles, there is 4 mystery titles. So the announced titles are Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which game looks really cool. I'm intrigued to try it out. I think it's cool. I like Sonic Racing, and I played both of the Sonic Racing games on PS3 back in the day, and I love them. Virtua Fighter 5, not for me. Cool. Persona 3 Reload, Switch 2 version. That is also very cool. I'm intrigued to see a little more about that. And Persona 5 The Phantom X, which was to be expected. So 4 games left. I know what one of them is. So today I want to speculate about those 4 mystery games. What could they be? I'm very confident about one of these projects, and then there's 3 other projects that will be shown. So we'll talk about that. But before we do, as your fellow certified dumbass with actual expectations, I want to set expectations because I do have actual expectations. You can count on me as always, but I remember what happened last year. Last year, there were 3 mystery games. They did the same thing. They showed up at Tokyo Game Show. They had their schedule, and they had 3 mystery games to be announced and to be shown at TGS. Those 3 games were Persona 5 The Phantom X, which I predicted correctly, Football Manager, which... And the 3rd game, I also predicted. It was a game that was announced 3 days or 2 or 3 days before Tokyo Game Show 2024 during a RGG Studio summit. RGG being Ryagogotoku, the studio behind Yakuza, Like a Dragon, Judgment, Peak Games, by the way, you guys should check them out. They had a summit, which is basically an RGG Direct, if you will, or a RGG State of Play. And in that show, they announced Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, which was of course shown at Tokyo Game Show, which is leading me into what are we going to see this year with 4 mystery games. Let's start with the first game, the game that I know about from RGG Studio, because RGG Studio, the GOATs, they are hosting a RGG Summit 2 days on September 23rd or 24th, I think. Don't quote me on the date. They are hosting a summit, and we know they're going to announce something there. Tokyo Game Show is 2 or 3 days after. So of course, what RGG is going to show is going to be on the schedule. So what is RGG going to show? It's been calm for RGG. What I want them to show is Stranger Than Heaven, their new IP, which we saw at the Game Awards last year, and it was unveiled at Summer Games Fest last year, if I recall correctly. And that game looks amazing. I like everything that RGG does. Everything that they do is absolutely peak, whether it's Like a Dragon or Judgment or Monkey Ball. Everything that they do is fire. So I want to see what fire they're cooking. But if I had to speculate, there's a lot of people speculating Yakuza Kiwami 3, which would be a remake of Yakuza 3. I would love that because I am a defender of Yakuza 3. I think it's really good. I think it gets too much hate for what it is. I like it a lot. I mean, I like Daddy Kiryu, so Daddy Kiryu is here and he's great in 3. So I like that. So I would like to see that. The reason why people are speculating about that is because we have Yakuza Kiwami 1 and we have Yakuza Kiwami 2. And after 2, we have 3. So that's basically it. The other reason why people are speculating about that, but I think this is just some dumbass actual expectations bullshit that people are doing, but it is indeed odd. RGG and Sega, they have this big sale going on right now, or it used to be ongoing like very recently, and all the Yakuza games were on sale except Yakuza 3. Which is a little odd that you don't necessarily want to push an HD remaster well, you kind of want to, right? It's kind of like your last chance to sell the regular HD version of Yakuza 3. So I think it's just a bad coincidence, but I still think Kiwami 3 is possible, and I would like to see that. So I hope that it's right. I hope people are right and that we're going to see Yakuza Kiwami 3. But at least show me more Stranger Than Heaven. Give me a date. Hey, imagine if it's coming out this year. I think that would be really awesome. So Stranger Than Heaven, I'm here for it. Yakuza Kiwami 3, I'm here for it. Or whatever else they want to do. RGG, you already know. I'm in. Now, I think there's other potential. There's potential for other stuff as well. I am always going to bring it up. Sega is reviving some of their older IPs. And thank God that they are, because they have so many good IPs in their catalog that they deserve recognition, that they need to go back to, you know. Shinobi recently released. That was part of the revival of IP initiative, and Shinobi's been doing great. Like critically, almost a 90 on Metacritic. It's been selling well as well. So very cool to see. I'm not a Shinobi fan myself, but very cool to see them succeed. And it's giving me hope that they're gonna go back to some other IPs that they need to revisit. See that game right there? Top of the shelf. Ooh, that is Skies of Arcadia. Fuck, Sega. Come on, bro. Skies of Arcadia is by far the game that Sega, they own the IP. I know Overworks Studios isn't a thing anymore. The devs of that game, they don't exist anymore, but they still have the right to the IP. Sega does. So I want them to bring back Skies of Arcadia. I am playing it right now on GameCube, original hardware. I have my GameCube controller hooked. Up. And let me tell you, this game aged. It did. But this game is still so special, so unique, so good. I could sim for like hours about this game. But this is the game that would benefit from a remaster the most. Like out of every game out there, in my opinion, this game has there's one issue with it. In my opinion, I'm a simp. I'm a Skies of Arcadia simp, I admit. But this game has one issue. It's slow. Everything is slow. Everything is slow. Exploration is slow. Movement is slow. Sky exploration is slow. Battles are slow. In and out of battles. Everything is slow. But it's so good. Skies of Arcadia. I want them to revive Skies of Arcadia. I think that is a very out there prediction. I'm also always predicting Sakura Wars, Sakura Tyson to come back. Sakura Wars got its chance in 2020. The reboot was kind of like, I liked it a lot. I thought it was cool and fun, but it didn't reach their sales expectations, so I don't know if they're ready to go back to it. To be honest, if I am keeping my expectations in check, and that would still be very exciting to me, I want them to go back to Jet Set and Crazy Taxi. Those are confirmed IPs to be revived. We saw them at TGA years ago at this point. I think they're ready to show more. Shinobi did well. They have momentum. Show another one. So at this point, pretty confident that at least one of these 4 slots is going to be Jet Set or Crazy Taxi, which would be a sick lineup. You have Sonic Crossworlds, Virtua Fighter, Persona 3, Persona 5X. That is already fire with what's announced. You have an RGG game on top of that, which I think is a very safe bet. If you had either Jet Set or Crazy Taxi or another Sega revival, you have a fire lineup that is very solid. And then there's one other game that is possible to show up. I'm hoping it's Stranger Than Heaven, but that sounds like one hell of a lineup. I think there's probably going to be a football manager equivalent at this year's TGS, which would be a disappointment. So I'm kind of expecting at least one disappointment in there. But yeah, I think another thing that is possible is for ATLUS to show up. I do think there's one other thing that ATLUS can very much show at this event, and I would love to see that. I think there is a little chance for Persona 4 Revival to show up. But as I said in my video discussing when we're going to see P4RE again, it's kind of, I think it's a little early. They showed it in June and clearly it's a 40 seconds teaser. Lots of criticism around it. I don't think they're ready, / I don't think they want to show it immediately. I think we're going to see it soon, but I don't think TGS is the right place. When it comes to ATLUS, well, I do want to say the one thing that makes me hesitate is it kind of fits nicely next to P3 Reload getting a port to Switch 2. So maybe they do some sort of transition and talk about Revival a little bit, but I wouldn't expect it. It might be a cool surprise. I'm not expecting it. The one thing that I think we can see from Atlus that isn't the 2 confirmed titles is the next Etrian Odyssey. I think that's very possible. Whenever someone asks me about Etrian Odyssey, well, first I get excited because those games are awesome, but Etrian Odyssey is extremely niche. It's extremely niche. The ports, the Origins collections was revealed in a Nintendo Direct, but I think a new game like this makes sense in front of the Japanese audience. Like, I would never expect Etrian Odyssey to show up at like a State of Play or a Jeff Keighley event or anything. I think the biggest mainstream event that maybe we see it is a Nintendo Direct, but I think Tokyo Game Show for Etrian makes a lot of sense. So if there is some sort of new announcement from Atlus, I think Etrian Odyssey is probably the safest bet. But at this point, dream slash fair lineup would be, for the 4 mystery games, would be the RGG announcement, Stranger Than Heaven, a Sega IP revived, whether it's one of the confirmed ones or a new one, and also Etrian Odyssey. I think that would be fire lineup, but to be more realistic, I would say probably RGG, their new game, probably a Sega revival, and then nothing else from Atlus. Maybe Stranger Than Heaven, probably 2 disappointing things. That's pretty much where I'm at. I'm trying to keep you guys' expectations in check, but overall, 4 games is a good thing. We're going to see a lot from games that we already are looking forward to, but we're also going to get surprises, so that to me is always very exciting. Thanks for your patience with this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, a thumbs up helps. I'm trying to be the #1 source of Atlus news information on YouTube, so I would appreciate it if you enjoyed the content, if you could consider subscribing. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.